Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Moufin Off. I'm your host, Zeke McCoy, Savannah's own. Today we're going to start out by talking about all of the senseless killing that's been going on here lately. Killing of young black men and police officers. I can start anywhere on this. People, what are we doing out here? What's going on? It has gotten to the point to where people do not respect the law anymore. People do not respect life anymore, and we need to seriously step back and take a look at where we're headed. We are not headed in the right direction. I'm going to start off tonight by talking about the two officers that were gunned down in New York City. First of all, I want to start out saying my condolences to the family. These officers did not deserve this by any means. At no point in my story or in my interviews or whatnot am I condoning going after police officers, whatnot. So I want to, make that clear. At no point am I condoning the killing or hunting down of police officers, whether they're innocent or guilty. But I will say this. I've been, kind of keeping my eye on the situation in New York City with the cops and whatnot, and I saw a disturbing picture. When the mayor was walking through a crowd of police officers, they turned their back on the mayor. Okay, let me voice my opinion. Let me mouth off about this right quick. The mayor is not your problem. The mayor is not your problem. Those crooked police officers that you work next to are your problem. Everyone's talking about how the mayor threw him under the bus and, all of this other nonsense, whatnot. To those of you that don't know, the mayor of New York City, he's a white mayor. He has two black sons. He expressed something openly in an interview, expressing the concern for his two sons. I'm gonna read off my little chicken scratch handwriting what I could write down of what he said. It says, "I've had to worry over the years," and I'm not going to call his sons names. I'm just going to read, and I'm going to refer to him as the mayor, not by his name also. "I've had to worry over the years. Is my son safe each night?" The mayor said at a news conference hours after the decision was announced, "Is my child safe, and not just from some of the painful realities of crime and violence in some of our neighborhoods, but safe from the very people they want to have faith in as their protectors." That's the reality. Now, in my opinion, anybody that took offense to that, you need to seriously check yourself. Dirty cops should have been offended by that statement. I don't think in any way that was directed towards the good police officers out there, because every department has a bad officer. And I will say this here too. To these officers that claim to be good officers, and you let these dirty officers do this thing, because, a dirty cop is dirty from the day he starts the force. That's not something that happens you are dirty from the day you join the force. There's just different times that come out. But these so-called good cops that let these dirty officers get away with what they do and you don't report it, there's just as much blood on your hands as the dirty cop. In my opinion, dirty cops is what got these two innocent officers killed, and you need to be ashamed, and you really shouldn't be able to sleep at night. You really shouldn't be able to sleep at night. Everybody's looking for somebody to blame, but nobody wants to look within their departments. All officers are not bad. I'm going to be clear on that. All officers are not bad. I know some officers that are like brother and sister to me. You know who you are. I'm not going to call you out, but you are like brother and sister to me, and I love you like a brother or sister. I'll give you my right leg if I could. But I feel bad and afraid for y'all because of what these dirty officers have done. Now everybody has to look over their shoulders, and nobody thinks about that. These crooked officers, they don't think about that before they go out and do things. I'm going to pull my phone off my hip for a second, and I want to read something that I found on the internet the other day via LAPD. And this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this was something. This was made into a rap song by a police officer at a retirement party in Los Angeles. And here's what's been said. Okay, it says Michael Brown learned a lesson about messing with a badass policeman. The song, the song goes, captured in a video posted on entertainment news website TMZ. It continues. Michael looked like old Swiss cheese, his brain splattered on the floor. This is what you got to worry about right here. This is why people are attacking innocent cops, because of dumbass cops like this here. That's disrespect to this man's family. That's disrespectful to him. And it's disrespectful to all the good officers out there that put their life on the line every day to actually protect and serve. And then you got a stupid cop like this here to post something, to get filmed saying something like this here about a young man, and you wonder why the black community, they're reacting the way they are. This officer here that took an oath to protect and serve, this is what comes out of his mouth, and you wonder why cops are being targeted. It's because of dumb officers like that. So police officers, especially the ones in New York, no, don't be mad at your mayor. You need to be mad at dumb cops just like this one here. Just like this one. A lot of us hate the law. A lot of us don't agree with the law. But the law has to be upheld, and people are hired to, to enforce the laws. You may not agree with them, but we're hired to enforce the law. It's our job. It's no different than anybody else going on their job and doing a job that they don't like. You go to that job, you do it, you go home. Police officers are the same. They got a job to do. It's their job, and they have to do their job. Imagine this world without law, where we would be. Not all blacks are innocent. Some of us got hard heads. Some of us are knuckleheads out there, and we know this here. But, we get mad at the police for enforcing laws when we know we're wrong. People, black and white, we need to step up, and we need to resolve this. We need to resolve this. Killing innocent cops are not the, it's not the answer. That's not the answer. You're making a problem that's already bad worse. It's not the answer. We don't agree with the law, but, we have to follow them. We got to do what we got to do, people. Killing innocent cops is not the answer. Y'all took 2 innocent cops away from here, from their families, from their sons, from their loved ones, from their mothers, from their father, whatever. Y'all took, the young man took 2 officers away from here that didn't deserve that. But that doesn't only fall on the young man that did the shooting. That falls on the 5 to 6 officers that sat and watched Mr. Garner be choked to death on camera. Those officers that was with that one officer are just as guilty as the officer that choked this man to death. I don't know how much more clear-cut it needs to be. That was straight out murder. They know it, but when officers like this here get off, it's going to spark rage, and y'all need to seriously revamp your policy, your procedures. You seriously need to revamp them, because there's going to be more bloodshed. There's going to be more innocent cops killed. It is not the way, people. I'm saying it's not the way, and we got to change this shit. We got to change it. We got to change it. These same officers are going to be the ones that protect our kids that's coming up. So starting a war with them is not the way. We all know what could happen out there in the streets to our kids, not by law enforcement, but by other people out there. We know what can happen. And without the law to protect our kids, how are we going to do it? We can't do it alone. We can protect them at home, but outside of home, you know, all we have is the law to protect our kids. So y'all need to seriously step back and think about what the hell you're doing right now, because you're starting a war that we don't need. That's not going to solve anything. Killing these innocent police officers that put on their clothes the same way we do, dress up the same way, ordinary people just like we do, it is not going to solve anything. We need to step back for a minute and we need to think. We need to resolve this shit. Both sides. You know, police officers need to realize, before you out there, you know, killing and slaying young black, you know, men, you know, or slaying anybody for that matter, your best source of information in your investigation come from the streets. So before y'all dirty cops out there start thinking about abusing your authority, abusing your arrest powers and whatnot, you need to seriously think. Without the public, you know, without the community, half the cases that you've solved, you know, murders, wives, whatnot, you know, you wouldn't be able to without a witness. You know, both sides need to sit back and think about this whole thing. Both sides. This is only one part of the story. I have so much more to talk about. I'm going to end it right here because I don't want to, you know, I don't want you to get bored. I want you to watch this whole thing. But this is a multi-part story here. I can't get it all into one taping. So I'm going to have some people come in and voice their opinions on the whole thing. And, you know, there are people that are passionate about this subject. I mean, we're in crisis right now. We need to come together. We need to figure out, you know, what needs to be done. Killing each other, killing police officers is not the answer. It's not it. You know, to all the officers out there, to everybody, you know, the good officers, you know who you are. Be safe, be careful, watch your back, ride in twos, ride in threes, you know, back each other up, be there for each other. Just be safe. Just be safe. You know, I feel really bad for you right now because of what these other officers have put y'all into, and, you know, you don't deserve it. Again, my condolences to the, you know, every family that's lost an officer. My condolences to everybody. I wish that on no one at all. No one. You know, be safe, be careful. I'm going to end this segment here. In the next segment, I'll get into talking about, you know, Mr. Michael Brown, you know, Mr. Garner, you know, more in depth. Even, you know, Trayvon Martin, you know, Zimmerman, you're a coward, and you're going to get what's coming to you. But that's a whole nother, you know, whole nother section, whole nother story. You know, no crime goes unpunished. Just unfortunate that these people have to pay for the stuff that bad cops do. But Zimmerman, you're a coward. You'll get what's coming to you. I'm going to end it right here. Your boy Zeke McCoy, Savannah's own, mouthing off again. Join me next time, like I said, when I'm going to bring some people in to discuss this subject, because it's a long topic. I can't fit it all into one taping, so I'm going to end it right here. Subscribe to your boy, like the video. I'll get at you next time. Peace. Everybody, let's come together. Stop the killing. You know, rethink. You know, think before you act. Gone.